Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the very first Centrist Report. My name is Steve. Thank you so much for clicking on our very first video today. So I wanted to create a channel where we look at the news, mainly political news, from a centrist point of view. I'm a moderate voter that lives here in Texas. I believe in some Republican values, and I believe in some Democratic values, and I voted for both sides of the aisle throughout my whole adult life, ever since I was able to start voting. And, so I wanted to create a channel where we can present the news from that view, not just from the left, such as CNN or MSNBC and others, and not just from the right, like Fox News, Newsmax, and OAN. And most of those outlets I just explained, along with others, will skew the news to fit their narrative. And there's also a lot of folks who are into podcasting political news or here on YouTube, such as Alex Jones, who's very far to the right. A show that I watch, David Pakman's show. No offense to you, David. I think you do a great job. But he is definitely very leftist and presents views from that side. So I wanted to create a channel here called the Centrist Report, and every report we do is going to be factually based. We're not going to, report on conspiracy theories, or if we do, we're going to point out why it's the truth and not a conspiracy. I was raised that people should have values and morals and speak the truth if at all possible when you can. And when you've done wrong and messed up, admit your mistakes. Nobody does that anymore, it seems like. And that kind of leads me into our first story, first report I want to do here. Former gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams was at a Georgia elementary school late last week for Black History Month, and I commend her for being there and doing that, and giving a speech to the children there. It looks like it was an elementary school, and she was in a photo op. She was in a picture with, as you can see on the screen here, not wearing a mask, while all of the children behind her were wearing a mask. And of course, as you know, it is current CDC policy that, children and teachers and staff wear masks in school, mainly because of the diminishing Omicron variant. My big thing with this story is, Abrams is somebody who has advocated for mask mandates. She has said that if she is the governor of Georgia and, we're going through a pandemic, she would most likely, implement a mask mandate for her state. And, but when it comes to situations like this, here she is spotted, just another example of a Democrat who supports mask mandates and who says that they follow CDC guidelines, but they're spotted in a picture where they're not following the guidelines. And I think it was just recently, in the last couple of weeks, the mayor of Los Angeles was spotted taking a picture with Magic Johnson without a mask on. And the mayor said, well, I took it off, but during the photo op, I hold my breath. And I'm not exposing anybody to COVID, and I'm not breathing in any COVID droplets, which I think is just complete ridiculousness. But what really bothers me about the story is she posted this picture on her Twitter and then she deleted it, tried to act like it never happened. Of course, this picture is going to be posted on Fox News and local news stations in Atlanta, in the newspapers, and all over social media. And of course, people are going to be calling you a hypocrite all over TikTok and Twitter. I mean, come on. Whatever happened to the days of, what, folks? Slap me on the hand. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have taken my mask off for that picture. I thought I was doing it for the children. But what if she did have COVID here? Did she test negative before she went to that school? We don't know. I don't think it's been reported that she did. But, the data, that scientific data with the latest Omicron variant is if you have the virus and you're not wearing a mask, your droplets can go as far as 10 to 12 feet. So obviously, now of course the other kids are wearing a mask, but that doesn't 100% guarantee that you wouldn't get COVID from somebody you were exposed to. Now, I'm not saying that's what's going on here. I'm just saying that, the guidelines are there for a reason. And if you say you support the guidelines, then do that. Don't be spotted in the one photo op from the event where you're not wearing a freaking mask. I mean, come on. So Nancy Pelosi was been spotted doing this. Many Democrats in the last year and a half during this pandemic have been caught going against the things they support, such as mask mandates. So, and then people want to say and want to realize, why do people not believe their leaders and their government? They've lost all trust in these people because they don't believe them when they're caught doing stuff like this. All trust and faith in the system is lost when you say, hey, I want to protect people. If I'm fortunate enough to become the governor of Georgia next time there's an election there, I'm going to implement a mask mandate so that we can reduce COVID transmission and save lives. But here you can't even practice what you preach. Now, again, I'm sure as in her defense, she wore it at other parts of the event, but in the polarized political world that we live in, she should know that there was going to be big backlash when this picture got out. And once you post something to social media, whether you delete it or not, it's there. It's screen captured. People can find it. It can be subpoenaed from Twitter if there was an investigation. So just admit you were wrong. Don't try to cover it up. Too many people these days are trying to say, I didn't do it. They're shredding and ripping up documents, sending them to the National Archives. They're obstructing justice. They're pleading the fifth. They're blaming other people. Let's just take responsibility once again and start trusting each other to do the right thing. So that's kind of my 2 cents about this report today. Again, I have nothing personally against Stacey Abrams. I think she's a fine lady, a great person. I've met her. If I was a Georgian again, I would probably, consider voting for her. Not saying I would. Like I said, I voted for Democrats and Republicans. There's, some policies of hers that I support. And so anyway, that's my take on this report today. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please like and subscribe for the YouTube algorithm. Let's see if we can get to 1,000 followers here in the first 3 months. I think that would be awesome. I'll try to post as many of these reports as I can a week with the time I've got. And again, my name's Steve. Thanks for tuning in to the Centrist Report, and have a great day, everybody.